What's going on, guys? It's Young J Chopper, and I kind of just wanted to have a conversation about something I've been thinking about with the whole iDub situation and Moist Critical, because I'm a big fan of Moist Critical, and I think this is probably the worst take I've ever heard from him. Now, I'm not saying it is something like absolutely horrible, but just out of Moist Critical's like spectrum of takes, it's probably on the lower end of the scale. So if you don't know, iDubbbz made a video and he posted it up, and he was basically talking about, his change in content without the past couple of years. And, he's not really doing the same thing he used to do, or he doesn't even respect the things that he used to do. Is the basically, I think that's the best way you can describe it. He doesn't respect what he used to do anymore, and he doesn't want anything to sort of do with that. And it's understandable. People change, people grow up, they want to do different things in life, and sometimes you grow up and you realize what you did back in the day wasn't really the best thing. um in the video, he feels as if that he should be walking some sort of road of fire and nails and Legos, and barefoot, and I don't think that is the correct way to feel about his past. At the end of the day, you did what you did, and it got you to where you are. But and you may not be proud of it, but at the end of the day, you did it. You just kind of just have to move forward from that, and make different decisions from there. You change that human being. The only thing you can change is the future, not really the past. I don't think you should really worry about that too much. This video is more on Moist Critical's take, which is what's got people up in arms and really worrying about like what the fuck. And why? Why does he have that sort of ratio right now? Well, because he made two interesting, basically, points throughout, about the video. One, he said that the video shouldn't have been made to begin with, which I don't believe in that at all.
Brass tacks of it, sorry to blast the cold water in your face first thing in the morning, you don't owe them an explanation for why you're changing your content. You're welcome to tell them. I think that's totally within your right to do. But I really disagree that it's weak if you don't explain why you're changing your content. You can just make different stuff and go in that direction where you're happier without ever really needing to come forward and like really lecture on why.
And this is one of those takes that I have a problem with, right? So if the school or esports stopped doing esports, wouldn't they have to probably acknowledge the fact and explain as to why they stopped doing esports, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that we can go into, a lot of different channels and a lot of different people. If I did a thing, stop doing things, you know, if the Act Man started doing poetry and uploaded nothing but poetry, people would start questioning it. Um, it's like there's a lot of, when you build your community up and your channel off of something, they watch you for this one reason, and you stop doing it, and you got millions of people watching you for that, and you completely do a 360. It's not like you're slightly deviating from the path. You took a wrong exit. It's completely different. Why would you not acknowledge that? I agree with iDubbbz on this take. Why the fuck would you not acknowledge this? I think this take right here upsets me, because it's like, we understand that, we're not, your viewers aren't your friends, and such and such. It's your channel. You can post whatever the fuck you want. We get that, right? But your community is based off of something that you do or who you are as well. Not just, I can just upload whatever the fuck I want and they're gonna eat this shit up. You may have the luxury of that. Not everyone does. At the end of the day, it is my right to post what I want, and no one can tell me what I should and shouldn't do on my own channel. So I do understand Moist Critical's perspective on that. He is his own human being. iDubbbz can post whatever he wants. On the contrary, iDubbbz did make his career and internet personality, persona, whatever you want to call it, based off of the way that he used to act, and he did it for years. And so now he knows it's cringe, but at the same time, those are the guys that got him to where he is today. He wouldn't be there without those kind of people. So he's in a very weird spot. Like, what do? I can't really say fuck you guys because you guys are weird, because you guys are the reason I am where I am today, and I influenced you to even act like that even more than you already were. So, and we're gonna talk about that as well. So at the end of the day, he does. And then the whole thing with creator clash, and people saying, now he doesn't, he can't take hate on the internet. Oh, now you can't take criticism or any sort of jokes. Yeah. And in reality, we all knew he wasn't like that. In the last couple of, like, what, 2-3 years, he kind of stopped doing that sort of thing. And we all knew it. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. He doesn't do that no more. But it really came to light in this creator clash. A lot of people really, came to light and realized that that's not who he is anymore. At the end of the day, the video, I feel like, should have been made. It had a place in there. An apology or homage to those, that may have been affected by the videos he made. I don't really consider the content cops and that sort of thing. So I do agree with Moist Critical on that. I don't think that he should backtrack on content cops. I don't think criticizing somebody else is something you should feel bad about. That's what you do as a human being. You love people, you hate people. Whether or not you want to admit or not, that's the truth. But there are people you don't like, right? People you criticize and you feel like they can do better. And that's the end of the day. That's what's moving forward is and growing up is. So I don't feel like he should backtrack on that. But as far as the degenerate shit, the bigot shit, and the racist shit, yeah, I feel like that's something that you can apologize for. Something you can say something, make a video about. Obviously, he did, or say, that's not me no more. It's not an issue going up from that, and acknowledging that, and letting everyone that follows you and watches you for that, let you know, like, hey guys, we're not doing this no more. By the way, acceptable, completely acceptable. So if he wants to do that, I feel like as he should. And I don't really agree with Moist Critical for saying that, oh, he shouldn't have made the video. I don't see a point. He sees the point. So at the end of the day, if he feels as if that's the case, then that's it. But if you want to ask about what I feel like he should have. Everyone's going to have their own opinions on this situation, but a lot of people don't agree with Moist Critical's take as far as he shouldn't have made the video. A lot of people feel like he should have. Whether it was to acknowledge the fact that I'm moving on, or an apology. Either or, it was made, and it needed to be. Something needed to happen because it was starting to collapse. Everything was starting to collapse in on itself as far as iDubbbz goes.
Also created a culture of apathy and, I don't know, a lot of like cruelty as well. Like, some of the videos I've made have been very not edgy. I don't think they some of these videos were edgy. I think they were just outright cruel.
It sucks to hear that this is how he thinks about his old content and his old self. It's always a very difficult realization when you look back on, the you of a few years ago disappointed. Like, I used to be 5'6", and I still am, but it sucks to realize that I was then too, and have been for a long time. Point is, he wasn't happy with the content he made or the person he was, and now he's trying to apologize for the videos he made. And I, once again, have to completely disagree with the way he looks at it. I feel like his perspective on it is very warped by the way the internet has evolved over the years. The way he talks about this content makes it sound like he used to fucking murder puppies for these videos, which it was never that extreme.
No, you're right. It was never that extreme. He only just screamed the N-words and all sorts of other bigotry and racist shit.
Okay, well that one's just, it's not racist, it's just gay, because first of all, there's no one named Tyrone, it's Tyrone, and secondly, black people don't own any businesses, so that's...
I'm laughing because I'm not supposed to laugh. As an adult, I understand that. I know it's a joke. I know that he's fucking around. I know he's not racist. But coming from a lot of people who don't know who he is or know the sort of things he does, I can see as to why it caused issues. Moist Critical doesn't believe that iDubbbz made an impact about how a lot of people acted. Now, I know that's not true. I know a lot of people know that's not true. And it's a very simple way to basically put this into a perspective. Think about um your favorite YouTuber or your favorite Twitch streamer or your favorite actor in a TV show or your favorite character in a TV show as you were a kid, right? You would say their lines, their catchphrases. You would act like them. You'd walk like them. You dress like them if you could, right? I remember kids saying lines from PewDiePie, screaming out Pewdie. Everyone knows PewDiePie's catchphrase, right? Markiplier, his intro. When I was watching Yogg's cast or fucking God forbid Machinima, fucking anyone on there, or watching FaZe Jeff, FaZe Banks. I remember who I used to watch when I was a kid. And a lot of people, do the same thing. And as far as, being influenced by the person I watch, yeah, I can definitely say I say things and act a certain way based off the people that I used to be fans of. Even Moist Critical yourself, if you ever watched this, dude, I went to Creator Clash too. Okay, I remember the amount of people wearing a white T-shirt, long fake hair, and a black hat. The amount of people I saw wearing that shit that didn't know you. They were grown men. Now imagine the young, impressionable minds of kids. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. I'm a big fan of Asmongold, so I say a lot of his catchphrases. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. It is what it is, that sort of thing. As grown men, we influence. So imagine young kids, man. And I'm telling you, when I was in high school, I couldn't stand iDubbbz fans, man. Anyone who liked iDubbbz, I couldn't stand you. I couldn't stand Leafy fans, iDubbbz fans. As to why, they walked around and acted like them, said the things they said, and treated people the way that they were treated. And they treated in the videos, they thought it was funny. And then you grow up, and then it's time to be put into society and act regular, and you can't do that. And that's what you think's funny. And people look at you as fucking weirdo, whether it's a joke or not. And I understand. I'm old enough to understand that it is a joke. It's not like something. Obviously, iDubbbz isn't racist. I know this, but at the end of the day, slight racism is racism. So it could affect people who don't understand what slight race the difference is. Some people will be pissed off hearing shit like that. Obviously, if I'm tough skinned and I'm smart enough to know when someone's making a joke, even though it may be a bad one, I understand that. I could recognize that. There are a lot of you're asking for a lot if you expect the internet and a lot of people to understand whether or not somebody's joking or not. You know this. You're asking for a lot. So even those slight racist jokes, if I'm at a table, I'm with my friends, and we're eating at even in middle school or high school, we're having lunch, and I'm saying he's black, and we're getting chicken, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna go up for seconds, like, yeah, we know it's a joke, yada yada yada. It may be funny. It's still slight racism, because the thing is that if it comes from the wrong person at the wrong day at the wrong time, that's gonna cause a fight. And it's not even like I agree with it or how I feel about it. It's just the way it is. I don't know if you were around at the time where he was at his peak and he was making this sort of content, and you really got to see what it was like. What a fucking 15-year-old iDubbbz fan was like. Just put it in perspective, man. Like, just put it into perspective. A 15-year-old iDubbbz fan fucking in 2015, bro. You couldn't add him to a voice call and stream, dude. You get banned in about 10 minutes. I mean, he's not proud of that. I wouldn't be either. Now, I don't think that he should, crucify himself and come back from the dead in 3 days because of it. But that is something that needs to be recognized. Obviously, he's a different person, though. So, who gives a fuck? He's grown from it. But as far as should the video have been made, no, yeah, it definitely should. You don't, whether he didn't influence. Nah, he definitely did. That's not something that we're gonna sit here and ignore, right? I don't think that he should really be attacked for this. It happened and it's over. He's changed. He's a different man. I like iDubbbz now, which I was gonna say earlier. I love iDubbbz now. And not because he switched his content. It's because he's always kept his content $150. He's always been $150 with his shit. He's always been 100% real and honest about everything about who he is. I don't think he's ever really hidden it, right? When he was a degen, he went full fucking degen, macaroni and goddamn dino nuggy, crayon eating degen. And when he went to fucking to No More, he cut the shit out completely. He was never wishy-washy about the shit. And that's why, you know, I love iDubbbz now. Even the content cops and even after past all the other shit that he's done, I have more respect to iDubbbz now than I ever had. And that's my reasoning as to. And as far as takes goes, it's basically why I think Moist Critical is probably the worst take I've ever had him here. You know, saying the video shouldn't be made and that he really didn't influence people. He definitely did. Anyone who grew up, who was in school in 2015, 2014, 2013, anywhere between 14 and 2018 will tell you, yeah. iDubbbz definitely had a fuck, and you know, he definitely did something as far as that shit went. But that's basically just my take and what I wanted to say about this. Had this little conversation. Thank you so much for watching, and peace out.